Hi. At this point in my life and career, knowing that my retirement is a little more than 3 months away, I have been spending a lot of time thinking about obvious things like how to say goodbye and how do we bring 28 years, almost 28 years to a conclusion, knowing that St. Luke's is a remarkable faith community, as evidenced by its recent decision to build on our site, partner to build affordable housing for families. And how, what a profound statement that is, knowing that they'll be also transitioning to another pastor, but they're saying, this is our ministry. And I'm just so reminded of that phrase that's so important, that spirituality doesn't remove us from the world. True spirituality really drives us deeper into it. And I'm so proud of this congregation. And then I combine the that part of our story with the whole business of Christian leadership, which is so counterintuitive to the world. The world is about building on its strengths, and if there are flaws, well, we just hide them, deny them, ignore them, do whatever. But Christian leadership really comes out of our brokenness. Those who are the best leaders, I find, are those who are the best at owning their own brokenness, their own disappointments and sadness, and knowing how God has redemptively brought life out of those moments. And so I was reading in Matthew, the 11th chapter, the 25th verse. At that time, Jesus said to his followers, I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned, and you have revealed them to little children. Yes, Father, for this was your good pleasure. Isn't that fascinating? It is God's good pleasure to reveal an inherent truth about the coming kingdom of God from those who are the smartest and, in worldly terms, the wisest. And so that as people of faith, we learn to lead out of our brokenness, knowing that God can make great strengths out of those, and can provide resources. I know that in my life, it's been a ministry that's been born in large part out of my own issues around addiction, and how for 40 years I've had to live with that part of myself, but knowing that when I give that up, God uses that to bless me and to bless others. So as I think about this today, this whole business about Christian leadership and in the life of St. Luke's Lutheran Church, what's next for them? I'm very, very excited for this congregation. I'm so inherently proud of this community of faith, that they're willing to step off the side of the ship, and they're willing to try to shape the kingdom for the kingdom that is coming. But I guess that's the word I would leave with you. To learn to think redemptively about our own lives, as we think redemptively about our own lives, about those places of brokenness and sadness and disappointment and failure and whatever it is, knowing that when given up, God can use those moments to profoundly provide leadership in the world. So I would challenge you to prayerfully consider that. What does that mean for you as people of faith to be providing leadership in the world? And it's not only including those things that we might look to as providing resources and strength, but it's also about providing leadership out of areas that the world would say are not helpful, but at the same time we say that God can use my brokenness to bless others if I'm willing to offer that. So God has hidden that truth from the world, but has revealed it to us. He calls us little children. He's revealed that to us, and he's blessed us. And I know that in my life, I'm so grateful as I look back, knowing that God has used me in those places that wouldn't be success in terms of the world, but has used them as a blessing for others. So, for whatever that's worth, I ask you to ponder, and I encourage you to pray over it and to think redemptively about your own life. Those places that we might be anxious and afraid of, those might be exactly the places that God can use you to bless the world. So with that in mind, let's keep each other in our prayers, okay? And if you have a comment or a question, please send me an email, and I'd be glad to try to speak to it. Thanks much. God's peace and love to you. Bye.